Hey everybody, so I'm about 2 months into the internship. The first month was really focusing on intimacy, and it's still focusing on intimacy, but the first month is really just opening up your heart. So that was, and it's still about that, but now I just feel like I have more of like an open heart. There's definitely a yearning for intimacy that I'm going to Jesus to meet. Trying to anyway. It's still there and it's difficult because you've just met intimacy in so many other ways before. But really what he's doing right now is putting pressure on me through finances and financial need, because he's called me to do the second part of this program, which is continuing to do full-time intercessory missionary work from the hours of 12 to 6 a.m. and then also continuing my training, but it's more focused rather than on intimacy, it's more focused on leadership and putting what you've learned into practice through works of justice and setting up a children's prayer room. And so I would learn basically how to set up a prayer room in another city, or so. It's something that I really feel like is necessary. Plus my heart is so open that it's just like open-ended, and I need a little bit more time about learning how to meet those needs through Jesus. So anyway, so since he's putting pressure right now through faith, I've just noticed, I'm going to put a link to Misty's sermon. It's so good. It was on Hebrews 11 and Hebrews 12. And just about the way that God uses pressure in our lives. And really in other countries, pressure looks different than it does in this country. But in this country, no matter how old you are, in the Western world, money is everything. And so God uses money to really put pressure on us and to work out our faith. So I'm just going to read a couple of verses from Hebrews 12 that have been speaking to me. So in Hebrews 11, he's talked about all the people of faith, Noah and Moses and people like that. And then Hebrews 12, it says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about," so we're surrounded, "with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." And this is how: "Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross." And then it goes on later to say, without faith, or maybe it was before this, without faith it is impossible to please God. And I really like that verse. Without faith it is impossible to please God and be satisfactory to him. For whoever would come near to God must believe that God exists and that he is the rewarder of those who earnestly and diligently seek him out. So, yeah, those are just some verses that are really speaking to me right now, that you have to look to Jesus. Number one, you have to look at him. Keep your eyes focused on who he is and his character. I mean, he's reflecting the character of God. That's who Jesus is. It's just to show us so that we can understand who God is, what he would look like, what he does look like, what his character is like, what his emotions are like. So looking onto Jesus, we recognize the character of God, our Father, and that he delights in mercy, that he's generous, that that he's a rewarder. So when we look onto Jesus, we look at his character and we see that he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. So if I know the intercession, and especially in the night hours, 4 to 6 a.m. is such an important time for intercession because so many people are not praying during that time. So if I know that that is something that is close to God's heart, then I have to believe by faith, understand through the character that's revealed to me through Jesus, that that's who he is and that he's a rewarder. Then I have to believe that he's going to come through and that he's going to supply every need. And not only that, his character says that he's going to supply it abundantly. So, yeah, so that's everything about faith. And then also I wanted to talk about in the prayer room, I've been feeling like this pressure to pray specifically by name for people. And it's like if I don't pray for protection for this supporter, then something bad's going to happen because I didn't pray specifically for that supporter and for protection. And God just gave me a picture last night that really set my heart at ease. And it was just me with my arms open, worshiping God in the place of intercession. And I a lot of times like to picture myself in the throne room of God because that's where I am in spirit. I mean, physically I'm here, but in spirit I'm there in God's throne making intercession. And I've really been studying intercession about standing in the gap. So this picture really spoke to me where I was in the throne room, arms wide open, and everybody that I cared about, every place that I cared about, Nashville, Hopkinsville, Las Vegas, Texas, Tampa, every family member, every friend, e-commerce, all the people at e-commerce, they were connected. They're connected to my heart, and they're standing behind me with my arms stretched, and the multitude of people are behind me, and I am interceding for them. I'm crying out to God for mercy, and they are connected to me. And even if I don't say it with my words all the time, which I do a lot of times, but even if I don't, He sees the cares of my heart and what I'm connected to, and He sees the cry of my heart that's crying out for mercy, and that cry is being answered, and those people are reaping the benefits. Even if I don't cry specifically out for safety for one person, that person is going to have safety, and God is going to work in their lives. So I just wanted to encourage people with that if you're standing in the place of intercession, it's not about having the right words, it's about standing in the gap, and so yeah, that's everything, I think. Isn't my hair cute? I absolutely love it. I'm so glad that I cut it. Okay, well, that's everything. I have to get to class, so I'll get this uploaded as soon as possible, and I miss everyone. Keep me in your prayers. Yeah, just keep me in your prayers for more faith and just walking by faith. I really want to walk in a way that's worthy and that makes Him proud, like knowing that He's going to come through and not like doubting or having fear or being anxious. I just want to walk knowing who He is and believing that He's going to come through for me in a big way. So thank you so much for your prayers, everybody that said they would be my prayer partner. If you want to be my prayer partner, start praying for me once a week for safety, provision, growth, and revelation. So if you need specifics on that, message me on Facebook or leave a comment. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.